You think a limited nuclear exchange isn't on the table? That possibility. Think, oh, that could happen. Really? Really? We're virtually at war with Russia right now. Does anybody know what Russia's got going on in terms of armaments and the top rated scientists? Do you know how long they've had nuclear weaponry, ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles? They're not that far from mainland America. It could happen. Will I be shocked? Well, yes, I'll be shocked. I was shocked as hell on 9/11. I said, never again, man. So what do we need? What do we need to stop neglecting the disenfranchised, the downtrodden, the desperate, the destitute? We're willing to pay some $100,000 a year in California to keep one criminal in jail for a year. Child molesters, rapists, murderers, on and on. That's what you and me, the taxpayers, pay. But if you're not a criminal, no soup for you. And we're willing to pay fat cats $50 billion a year through these subsidized housing programs like HUD, Housing Authority, Section 8, to make the problem worse of unaffordable housing. I'm radical to say just buy people houses instead of paying the rent forevermore, and all it making the problem worse, and all that money goes in the pockets of fat cats. And I'm radical. And in the long run, it'd be infinitely cheaper to use my approach. At least go to housing stamps, like food stamps. Grocery stores have to compete for the EBT, the food stamp dollar. So landlords would have to compete, at least do that. At least. And give everybody some, man. We got to end homelessness in this country. I want the wrath of God lifted. I really do. I want his hand of protection back on us. I'm scared. I'm not just scared for myself. I'm scared for everybody. I don't like being scared. I don't like being fearful. Like I started talking about, stress has been on my mind. It's stressful. People are under too much duress, man. We can't take it. The price of gas. Look at everybody out there miserable, sucking lemons. You think people like paying $6 a gallon for gas here in California? What do you think they to fund a war? And it's all and people. A lot of people don't care. They get cost of living adjustments, so they don't feel the pinch at all. And a lot of people are profiting wildly from it. It's falling on the backs of the poor. They're making the poor people in America fund the war in Ukraine because we're giving them billions in armaments. And then we got to watch these commercials about, oh, we got to help the Ukrainians. But what, our government's not doing that? But we've got money to give them for weapons that are killing the Russians. But we can't take care of their essential human needs like food and other things that people need. Housing, I mean, that's out of the question. That's been decimated. I mean, this is a losing battle from the start. Can't you see the end from the beginning? It's like so many people during the Civil War, they said, whoa, 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 South, what are you, idiots? Don't fight the North. The Yanks are going to kick your butts. Can't you see the writing on the wall? Flashing neon, dude. And that's what I've seen all along. You're talking about Russia. You think little Ukraine has a chance to stand up against Russia and defeat Russia in this? If their hearts and minds are into it, and they got over 80%, that's a lot more than America had in the Vietnam War. We didn't have no 80%. I don't know what it was that supported that war, but it started to lose popularity quickly. I remember as a child and a young teen, I was a little concerned about getting drafted at one point. It ended about the time I was 15 years old. But yeah, man, this is not, we're there, man. We're at the precipice of what I believe is a big, big event. Billions of times bigger than 9/11. Earth-changing. profoundly unprecedented in all of human history, dramatically unprecedented, like the return of Christ. And he doesn't come back as a baby, my friends. He comes back with a multitude of holy angels. And the dead in Christ will be risen first. And then those that are alive and have trusted in God and Christ and the Spirit of truth will be changed in the twinkling of an eye. That's how it plays out. Doesn't blow my mind when you think about it, man. God is a God of miracles. There's never-ending wonderment. You think because you get old, there's less things to wonder about? There's more, man. It's like science. They open one door and there's a billion other doors staring them in the face to look through. I mean, there's no end to roads to go down, to seek information and be curious about and be in awe of all the life, the flora, the fauna, and just how intricate and integrated everything is, and just our own bodies, and everything. I mean, the invisible powers out there, magnetism, electricity, gravity, the air we breathe. So the soul is real, friends. Just because it's invisible doesn't mean it's not real. There's power. And love is an invisible thing. Thought is an invisible thing. You think that's not powerful and real? Everything we've got that is manifested physically, all the technology, all the infrastructure started as a thought, an invisible thing. And it came together collectively. We've accumulated all that we have over the ages. All this technology. No man can take credit for it. It's an accumulation of information from over the ages and abilities. So we're a part of that. And we've got to step up to the plate and be responsible and have that reverence and respect for God. And if we do, we'll have it for each other. We'll start living by the golden rule. Landlords will start treating their tenants like they would like their own children, like they were renting to their own children. That's what would happen. Are we doing that now? I don't see it. But things better change. We better start living like a Christian nation, or I see something very unpleasant on the horizon. I don't want it, my friends. I really don't. I really don't. I don't want trauma. I don't like trauma for myself. I don't like it for anybody else. All right, I'm on to some other talking points and other maybe recent current events. I don't know how much time I have, but we know that Shakespeare said that a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. And I say that a tax by any other name would be as burdensome. And people that would dispute the cost of living is a tax, the cost of living is a tax. And it falls on the backs of the poorest of poor, the people at the bottom economic rungs of the economic ladder. It's sick. It's sick. It's ungodly. I don't have any more to say about it. It's sick, man. It is a tax. It's evil. If you have to pay it in order to live, the cost of living, they're charging you to live. What right do they have to do with that? That's God that gave you life, not evil men. People in this area, they're really dreading the next couple days. It's supposed to get up over 100 degrees. And that makes you miserable. That's enough. Do we need to be financially burdened and being made to feel miserable more unnaturally? Isn't life hard enough? Back to freak off, all you financial freaking monsters out there. Inside Edition did a piece on Joe Biden's son, one of his sons, I guess, the surviving son. I don't know if he's got any more, and it wasn't flattering, let's put it that way. But TMZ didn't touch it. It was very sensational, but TMZ wouldn't touch it. Harvey Levin is definitely censoring his reporters. I know that some of those people, I could tell, they would have been glad to report on that story, but he's calling the shots around there, and he's definitely prejudiced. He's got an agenda. I don't know, man. I think he's got way too much faith in the Democratic Party. And like I said, we got to get rid of all the parties. No more party affiliation. Make it illegal, at least taboo, frowned upon, like we frown upon gangs, the Reds and the Blues, all right? Well, friends, unfortunately, at least for me, I got to end it here. I could have talked and talked today, but I still have a whole lot of thoughts I'd like to get to, and I had other things I wanted to discuss, like this exorbitant tax on smoking. We should put that on sugar and meat. These cause diseases too. Alcohol. But anyhow, listen, best to everybody. Have a great day. Have a great eternity. Be cool. Be nice. Love and live.